to the Transfer Exchange show. We are live. Arsenal are back from Dubai, straight to winning ways. 3 points, 3 easy points against Leicester. That's a massive lie. It took Super Merino in 18 minutes to bag a double. Could he be Arsenal's solution to the end of the season up front? Manchester United, more troubles and drama as they lose to Tottenham. And
no one can stop him. I thought he was going to go into a song then.
James Maddison shuts the critics up with his performance against Manchester United. Absolutely superb individual performance there from James Maddison. But he got his goal and got his celebration, and he was able to quieten a few people for a day or so until Roy Keane's been given the mic again. Liverpool keep winning. It's still going on. Manchester City are back to winning ways as well. And then we're going to be talking about anything transfer related as well. I'm joined by Steve, Kay, and Garth Lewis. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, very good, mate. Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
And where just looks angry right now. We're better to start than Garth. 1-0 loss to Tottenham, Garth. I think that's Tottenham's first clean sheet in about 2 years. I have to say, I watched the game. It was possibly the most toothless Manchester United I've seen in a long, long while. It didn't look like any threat, really. It looked like to a certain stage, it looked like they were comfortable to get there. And as soon as it just got anywhere around the box, it was just left with nothing. What was your take on the game?
I mean, the first start, mate, trust me, that was actually nowhere near the most toothless performance we've had this season, which just shows you how bad we are, mate. Like, we actually had chances. First and foremost, can I just say, James Maddison, let's stop this hype immediately. It didn't shut anyone up. I tell you what, if a 2-yard tap-in means you've had performance of the match, I should have won Player of the Season 4 years in a row at the Rose.
You made a celebration for it as well.
Like if that constitutes a great game, like an individual brilliant performance, then yeah, mate, I'm one of the best you've ever seen. Shocking, like it's shameless what he's up to. But I get obviously Roy Keane upset him, like he hurt his heart, so he had to say something about it. But yeah, listen, Man United were in performance first. Weirdly, it was a better performance from Man United than I've seen in recent games. We had some chances. Gone Nacho, I mean. Wow, I mean, that ball still ain't come down, has it? That ball somewhere in Watford. That ball somewhere in Watford, bruv. That's in the Watford gap. That ball somewhere, I'm thinking. So, Sertsky, I mean, the header should have been better. Like, and then we got through, and I mean, I said to you, kid, and like they've got the killer instinct of a puppy. It's just like it's toothless. Yeah, the formation still it's getting better. But there's still passes being missed, players not being found. Dorgu on this occasion, a lot of space, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in this game. I don't want to give an exact number, but you can go back and see it. The pass not coming to him, the attack breaking down, decision making weak, poor, and it is coming down to the fact that they're learning this new system on the job. I stand by saying I don't think he should change his formation, but his tactical picks are getting a little bit weird. Like, we all know Casemiro and Bruno. Like, have you not done any research, Ruben? We all know Casemiro and Bruno cannot play the double pivot. We know that. We've seen it for years. Even when Casemiro was at his best, it was not great. You know what I mean? So, like, and then you're asking Bruno to move out to the right to cover the right side and just leaving Casemiro on his own in the centre. That's poor, man. We know he can't do that. And for the first half, Spurs were running right through that midfield. The space was incredible. Again, Onana, could he have done better with the save? Have you seen the goal here as a goalkeeper? Could he have done better there?
I have to look at it again. I'll have to look at it again. I can look at it quickly now.
Yeah, the one thing I will say, Garth, I mean, it should have pushed, for me, he should have pushed it.
Yeah.
You could say that. But I've looked at it a few times and it was bouncing a couple of times. So
I haven't gone back, Steve. I can't be doing it to myself.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I can give him on it. But
even then, you saw the throw out, didn't you? Did you both see the throw out from him?
Yeah.
Straight to the player. Like he's a joker, mate. Like he's a joker of a keeper.
Poor keeper.
And he's got a hell of a lot of problems. Like, and my worry now is, and I am not saying I want him sacked. I do not. You know what I mean? I stuck with Ten Hag until the end, until the bitter end. I stuck with Ten Hag. He needs time, but we need wins. We need some wins because 4 wins in 14 Premier League games is unacceptable. I mean, I said this in the group to yourself, didn't I, Steve? 4 wins in unacceptable. Whatever it is, 15 points out of 42 is unacceptable. And, you know, we've got Everton away next. Tough game now. Shouldn't be, but it is actually a tough game. Possible loss on the board then. And Ipswich at home. If we don't beat Ipswich at home, I think he's actually going to be under pressure. I really do. Because Man United fans are not patient, a lot of them. And I don't think Ineos are particularly patient. Now, have we got the money to get rid of them? I don't think so. And I don't think we will, but there will come a tipping point where it's, you know what I mean? Another 4 defeats out of 5 and you're actually in a relegation fight. Like, there'll be problems for him. And, like, it ain't his fault. We ain't backed him. But, yeah, the players on the pitch need to up their game, definitely. But, sorry, back to it, like, I know they're all kids on the bench. I get it. But bring someone on. Like, bring them on. Like, there's 19-year-olds on the bench. They're not kids.
Yeah.
Like, give them a chance because we can see it's not working in the middle. You know what I mean? Don't bring Cheeto Martin on with 2 minutes left. Like, I hate that. I hate that so much. Like, kid didn't touch the ball. Imagine that for your debut. I'm sure it's exciting for him, but your actual debut is 2 minutes at the end of a defeat and you didn't even touch the football. So, listen, Spurs overall deserved the win, but they are. I mean, let's talk about Spurs for a second. They are awful as well, ain't they? They are a poor footballing team at the moment. Poor footballing team.
Yeah, they're not good.
Mid-off. Absolute mid-off.
It was. I've just looked at the goal. Yeah, look. Yeah, he's got to do better then. He's either pushing it out wide or you hold on to it.
Right, yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that. Yeah. Again,
it's not good.
Individual errors. I mean, Maguire and De Ligt have got some blame there as well, not closing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, again, you can tell there's a lot of players that still don't understand this formation, this system, this philosophy. And I get 100% because I was in the camp of get back to a 4-4-2, 4-3-3. You know, a lot of people in our group have changed their opinion on it now as well. Like, I just want to see a change in philosophy a little bit, a change in tactics on the pitch because he's going to have to stick with this formation till the bitter end, I think. Because even now, like, we're saying go back to 4-4-2 or go to a 4-5-1. Does he even have the players for that? I'm not sure, to be quite honest, because we got rid of Rashford, we got rid of Sancho, Ahmed's injured for the season, so we've only actually really got one winger in the team. We've only got Garnacho when you really think about it. So, yeah, long hard. I honestly don't think we're going to get relegated. We're 12 points above it. I can't believe I'm even saying that at the moment. So it's going to be a long, hard, painful last, 3 months of the season now. Long, hard and painful. You know, we'll be out of the Europa League in the next round, whoever we play. I'm pretty sure Fulham will beat us in the FA Cup, unless we get lucky. But then we're not beating Man City or Newcastle. You know, it's just not happening. So, yeah, it's going to be diabolical to the end of the season, and it's going to be awful to watch. So buckle up, United fans. We're in for a bumpy ride.
Steve, Man United weren't good, but then again, Tottenham were not impressive either, were they? It was, as Garth said, it was very much a mid-off. Like, there was, there was. I know it's probably alleviated a little bit of pressure on Ange Postecoglou, who's had a couple of wins recently, but yeah, it's nothing. It was really.
Yeah.
These are the two teams that are in around the top teams in the Premier League. And this is not a good advert, is it?
Yeah, look, no one would have expected this
Yeah.
from these two teams. You know, at the start of the season. I mean, I didn't expect much from either of them, to be honest with you. But I
expected it to be a little bit more entertaining because they're both quite open. So I was expecting it to be end to end, but it was like.
But it was like, I mean, I've seen a couple of lines, and I, you know, I tend to agree with it. It was that bad. It was entertaining. It was like you were sitting there laughing at some points. You was like, "Oh my god!" Do you know what I mean? It was like you was watching a comedy film at sometimes. Like with what they was doing, it was awful quality. It was awful, and Amorim must be just banging his head. And Postecoglou obviously has come out this one on top, but over the season he ain't got much to shout about either. You know, with the way that Tottenham performed. But weirdly enough, I not enjoyed not banter wise, but I actually just enjoyed for some reason watching it. I can't even to tell you why.
Let's watch that Garnacho miss again. Oh my word!
Yeah.
Oh my word! No wonder it's moments like that though. Like you see the frustration on Amorim's face. Like he's annoyed because it's like we needed that.
Yeah. Do you know what? Someone said something to me. It's not my thingy, but again, something that I tend to agree with. We know that Garnacho can be dangerous. He can run it. Yeah, and obviously anybody with speed frightens a defence, or it frightens a fan, or a rival fan when you're up against them. But his intelligence is ridiculous. He's so bad. He's football-like intelligence on a football pitch. Yes, he'll get the ball, he'll run at them, he can go past the player, yeah. But then when he has to think, it's like his head blows off. He's like, oh my God, I've got to think now. What do I do? And then he'll do something ridiculous. When he doesn't have to think, he'll pull off something unreal, like the overhead kick, for instance. No, you don't have to think there. But God help him if he has to think, because his footballing knowledge is on the football pitch.
I'll go one step further, Steve, for you, brother, and I mean this. His basic footballing skills, I said this to Keir yesterday, but basics are poor. I agree with you. Like, his speed is exactly what I said to you, weren't it? Dribbling, great. But actual technique in the shot, technique in his pass, like the basic tenets of being an attacking footballer are so poor, man. And I agree with you entirely. His actual football IQ, his decision making, his intelligence, it's shockingly
but
shit.
You mentioned Garth. You said it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I thought Dorgu had quite a decent game, to be quite honest with you, from what I've seen. He, especially at the beginning of the game, he went out of the game sort of like as the game went on, but through no fault of his own, because he wasn't like, it was like the two of them just wasn't pairing up together.
Well, after the miss, Garnacho was desperate. You saw it. He didn't actually have the shot, but he was cutting in to get that angle to have a shot every time to try and make up for it. And that's what the problem is.
And that's what I mean by poor intelligence.
Yeah, poor, mate. 100%.
And if you're hammering and you're watching him on the look, fans can watch a Garnacho and get a little bit excited over things he does. He might come out with a special of it. But if you're a manager, you're banging your head against the wall with someone like Garnacho, and you're like, if someone if 70 million, if Napoli want to pay, just grab it, get out quick, and because you can get much more better. This guy, I'm not sure can make it. I really don't. I don't think he's Man United's player, but. Yeah, look, it was awful. You mentioned Spurs, Keys. It wasn't much. It wasn't much better. There's nobody there that really stood out. Again, I said last week, I thought Spence was good again. For Spurs, I thought he was probably their best player, and I think I did actually see that he got man of the match.
I didn't see that, Steve. Maybe you can dig into it a little bit. Maybe you can dig into it a little bit, because I didn't. Listen, I'm not a big Spence fan anyway, but I was really surprised he won the man of the match. I thought he was quite quiet all game, but maybe you can say where you saw
a lot of running from him, a lot of tracking, a lot of running. I think it's just an honest performance. And when you look at the other performances, the quality was so low across the pitch.
Yeah,
James Maddison scored the winner, didn't get man of the match. Now, I'm not throwing out that celebration, telling anyone to shut up. When I scored a tap in and then been the most average, disappeared for the rest of the game, as you said earlier. It was that. So he should be, by rights, a shoo-in for man of the match, because he scored the only goal in the game. And he doesn't even get that. It's given to a defender who's chasing around Man United players. That's what this game was.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a few times when I thought he did. When he come forward, he looked like the danger. Do you know what I mean? As well,
yes, fair.
Not that he was like he did it much. Do you know what I mean? As you say, it was a poor quality game, but he sort of stood in that Spurs side. He sort of stood out.
Yeah, there was.
Fair. And he's a good ball carrier. There is no way about it. He is a good ball carrier, but I was just surprised that he got man. To be fair, listen, I was watching through teary eyes and depression, so I probably missed the.
I just saw someone that said. A tale of two bin fires.
That's a great. Brilliant.
See, I think we've like, just to try and just some pluses out for Man United. I thought, for me anyway, do you know what I mean? And when I say pluses, do you know what I mean? It was a very quality game, so it's not that high. But I thought Maguire did quite well again. I thought he's done. I think he was pretty solid by. He seems to have. He seemed good on the ball. He won his aerial battles, so that stood out. I thought Xerxes was.
He's slightly at fault for Madison's goal, Steve. This is the thing with Maguire. I know you're saying, listen, I have to respect the man for what he's come through to come back to be playing in this team, even like having the captaincy stripped off you. It shows heart. It shows maturity. But bottom line is, as I keep saying to people, in every game that he's played in, like, we've conceded. I'm not saying it's his fault, but we haven't had a clean sheet with him there, really. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I do know what you mean. You've got to give him nothing but credit, but he's a player that Man United needs to look at moving on in the summer.
Mate, I'd get rid of the whole lot. I don't think there's a player in that team.
Yeah,
and it's got to a point where it's. Do you know what? It's got to a little bit of a point now where you're starting to think, even like me as a rival fan and people I talk to, we're like not feeling sorry for them, but you're like, this is not Manchester United anymore.
Yeah, you want them to get back to.
Do you know what I mean? There was that.
You have empathy, but not sympathy. I know exactly what you mean.
You do get to a point where your sensible head comes in.
Yeah,
and you start to think of it in like in a sensible way, and there's not one player in that team who's really deserves their place.
Who's at the level? Now you've got a few players in there that on there like are at the level, but they're like the Bruno Fernandes. He's like you said it earlier. It's 31. It's not.
He's got a couple of years left in him. Yeah.
The thing with Bruno, he's either. I don't know if you agree with Bruno. He's either brilliant or shit.
No, I see people say that. I can't
he was awful.
He had some bad passes against, but I won't lie. This one got my goat. A lot of people say. I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying this. He had some bad passes. Definitely put us under pressure, but he still had the raking crossfield balls. He was the only outlet in that team, and he's playing in a position that isn't good for him. Asking him to be nice to do a job that ain't good for him.
Too deep, is he?
I've got a theory. I've got a theory about Bruno. I generally think he's the reason why. Look, I know you say he can play middle of the road and he does do this, but the reason why I just think he's either brilliant or shit is just because I think he just thinks I've had enough. You have had enough. I think like there's a certain game where he just can't be asked anymore. And he's looking at the players around him and he's thinking, what is I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of. And I'm asking these players around me to try and, do what I can do or be at a level where I am. And he must think, because there's nobody. There's nobody.
I can agree that he's frustrated. He hasn't.
That's the word. Yeah,
he's been like that for a few seasons now, where he's looking around and he's like, "What is going on?"
I agree with you, but in a different sense. I don't think he gives up. I don't know if that's what you mean. It's not like he's like, "Oh, I can't bother anymore." I think it's the more frustrated he gets, the more stuff he tries, which means that he's trying these fantastic things that are not coming off.
I think he's only human. He's human. He's human. And I mean, he's gone to Manchester United. He's playing for Manchester United, who in his head, look, he's a Portuguese international, right? He's a top level player, right? And he's not playing with top level players, and he's playing for Manchester United, who are not the Manchester United who he envisages Manchester United to be. And I think that's why sometimes, we see him missing from games, and in a way, I don't blame him. I get it a bit. I get it. Do you know what I mean? And that's why you see him brilliant one minute, and thingy the next, because I can't work it out otherwise.
No, I think there's a lot put in, and I don't know, there's a lot put into Fernandes when he misses a few passes, and that's what it was yesterday. I don't think it was some awful performance from him against Spurs. I really don't. It's easy to be to remember the bad passes that he makes, which put us under pressure, but forget the ones that actually did come off, like I say, and then just be like, "Oh, he had a bad game." He didn't have a bad game, honestly, man. I don't remember the last time Bruno had a stinker. I really don't. Maybe I'm a bit biased on it, but listen, I think who was it? Was it Sanchez you used to say, Keir, that he'll do Like he'll frustrate you all
Oh,
game.
mate.
He'll pull something out. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I suppose maybe that's a bit like Bruno. Maybe that's how you see Bruno.
Mate,
like,
exactly, mate, that's a brilliant, comparison, mate. An absolute brilliant comparison. Sanchez saying he used to get on my fucking wick, right, Sanchez, because in 1 minute he was absolutely outstanding. Next minute he was walking around moaning and groaning and throwing up his hands. And that's a little bit. Both of them incredible footballers. And obviously not I would say world class, but they're underneath that next level bracket, if you like. Do you know what I mean? But
I think both of them had moments in their careers where you could, like, when Fernandes first joined United and when Sanchez had his couple of years at Arsenal, they had world class seasons. But I agree with you. Neither of them are.
Yeah.
Listen, Fernandes has got world class stats, but I get it. If you don't watch Fernandes week in, week out, I can understand. And even Man United fans, I know a lot of Man United fans are extremely frustrated with him. So you're not alone, Steve. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, and I get it, I do, because he's a very frustrating player, and he doesn't help himself with the gesticulation, the histrionics on the pitch, the moaning, the rat face don't help him either because he looks like a little whingy bastard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's Twitter though, is it? That's Twitter.
No, it is as well. But even normal, like I see normal Man United fans who are frustrated with him, very frustrated. I just, like I say to everyone, just you don't want him to go, like, because just imagine how bad we'd be if we didn't have his creative output. We'd be in trouble. So hopefully we get another couple of years out of him, and he can usher in the Amorim era properly. But I mean, I worry for Amorim. I don't know if sorry, excuse me. Let me ask you that, Steve. Do you see Amorim under pressure yet, you two?
Yes, go on.
Pressure. Yes, but I don't think he's as under pressure as what many are stating. It's 15th in the table. Is he in danger of being dragged in there? Not realistically. 17 points is 18th. You're on 29. Like, not that you want to have them conversations, but it's what good is it going to do Man United sacking him and to have to go on another manager search for the summer, which they have to do. They'd have to be thinking about now who they're going to bring in, because you've got to then prepare to bring in those players as well. No, but there does need to be, like, towards the end of the season, you need to start seeing some performances which go, oh, do you know what? If we carry this on next season, there's something there. You do need to start seeing some performances towards the end.
It all turns on the game as well, don't it? It all turns on the game. We take 4 points from Everton and Ipswich over the next 2 games. You know what I mean? That almost solidifies no relegation fight, especially if you beat Ipswich.
Yeah.
So
put it this way, I watched Arsenal have one of the most stinking seasons ever, and then it got to February, March, and you could just start to see some play. You could start to see, oh, there's something there. I can see what he's doing. We're getting more through the games and without falling off a cliff. We're 20 minutes at the start of the season. Now it's 60 minutes, and we're holding on to a game. And then the following season, he was like, okay, momentum's carried on from the end of last season. So I think that's what you need to see. And you start seeing some decent patterns of play, some decent performances, even if they don't end up being wins. And then you can sort of carry that on to next season. You'll be able to see a vision of what we hope to be next season.
Yeah.
But you need players. That's the be all and end all. You need
I agree with Kieran. I agree with everything he said. For me, this season for Amorim's and all that, really just like, look, let's just get through it and let's. I think I put in the group, Garth. I said, I know it's hard. I know you as for a Man United fan and those that are watching tonight, you're watching this and you're frustrated. It's your team, and I get it. Do you know what I mean? I think we've all been there. But I think in a way, you've just got to write this off, get it out of the way. And then, judge Amorim on next season, from what I'm hearing, United, talking to people, I think United are going to have a pretty hefty budget from what I'm hearing when you work it out. I think they've got like a £50 million as it is now for the summer. And then once you add up the Rashford, the Anthony, the Greenwood money, the Sancho money. From my indications, all that money is going to be going on to transfers. You're touching you're touching 200 million. So then it's up to the people. Then look, I always say that a lot of people go, well, then it's up to the people in charge. Well, no, it's not really. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult. You know, Man United in a difficult situation. Obviously, like Garth said, of course, they've got their name. But players are going to want to go to a team that's, progressing and looking like they're going to do something. But, definitely, look, I think you've got to give him to the end of next season. And if it's
I agree.
And if it's still like this, and we're not seeing nothing, changing.
Yeah, he won't get to the end of the season, Steve, if it's like this, mate. That's the thing. He won't get to it. That's what my worry is. That's what the players need to perform. And if any Man United fans watching this, like what Steve's saying there about not getting in big players, we don't want them. Don't think like that, Man United fans. We need the squad is so threadbare that we need a good 7-8 signings at 200 mil. So I don't want 120 mil dropped on an Isaac. I know that wouldn't happen, but you know what I mean? I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. Like, we need to go out and get 6, 7, 8, 25, 30 million pound professionals that will come in and see us through the next couple of years, just like you boys did with Arsenal. You know what I mean? That will get us back up into the Europa League spots next season, and then the Champions League spots the season after. If we're lucky, Champions League next season. But you can't even think like that at the moment.
Do you know what I think as well? Garth? I think it'd be a good idea if for instance, if you're getting 7, maybe at least 3, maybe 4 of them from the Premier League, if possible. Because next season you're going to want players to hit the ground running and know the Premier League. If you're going to start bringing in players, look, you can buy a player from abroad. They might come in and they might smash it, but if you know a player like a Dilap or something like that. I don't know.
Get someone from abroad who's had Premier League experience. That's why I like Douglas Luiz. Like, I think that'd be United. You know what I mean? But not people fresh to the league. I agree with you entirely. We need people to get into and running. You know what I mean? Like say, maybe again, Liam Delap. Yes, but like we've got Højlund. It can be our Liam.
No, honestly, you was asking me about Liam Delap the other day. Yeah. Now I do think long term Liam Delap's got a little bit more about him, but you've got a Højlund. There's no point in going from a Højlund to a Liam Delap. You've got an honest runner, strong. Like you've got that. You've got that. Liam Delap probably has a bit of better game when he comes because he can drop deeper a little bit better. But other than that, what are you going to pay? 60 mil for Liam Delap? Like, unless he's got a release clause.
Man City got a buyback clause of 40 mil, so a lot of people are putting that on it, but people don't seem to understand that that's for Man City only. Yeah, so it'll be 50, I reckon. It'll be a 50 mil for Delap,
which I think for Premier League players quite good. I think every signing's going to be a gamble, isn't it? It's going to be every side, no matter who it is. Arsenal could go and buy Isaac. It's still a gamble.
Yeah,
it's not as big as gamble as some.
Do you want your 50? Do you want your gamble? Like, say you're Man United, and you ain't got a lot of room to manoeuvre with regards to making mistakes on these signings. No. Do you spend 50 million on a Liam Delap as your main striker?
I think they need someone who they can think, this guy can get us goals, whether it's Delap or someone else. I think they're gonna. I mean, Højlund. I just no.
I don't think it's Højlund. But I think it's a case of you build from the back. You build your midfield up, and you get in a wily striker. You get in someone who's someone on a free, someone who don't cost like. And it doesn't even have to mean selling Højlund. It means you've got another option because right now I watch Xerxes. And he's not getting you goals. He might be tidy on the ball, might create something around the box or something, create some space. He's not getting you goals. And they need goals right now because goals get you out of trouble. Goals can completely churn around a poor performance. You can have a terrible game, but if you get the one goal, Tottenham the other day, for instance, that there's no pressure on Ange Postecoglou the other day. No one's even talking about him getting the sack. He's been awful this season. Tottenham have been awful, and they were not good the other day. But there's no pressure on him right now because they've got that one goal. Man United ain't scoring that at the moment. They're not. And then when they do get them chances, Garnacho ain't putting it away.
Would you take Watkins for a couple of seasons, Garth?
Ollie Watkins
for a couple of seasons. I know he's like 29.
Oh yeah, I mean that'd be perfect. I think
there's a reason why I asked
that. Yeah, not for 60s. But listen, I was just about to say, everything else about transfers, the one position I'll put that out is the forward position. Like Jonathan David's on a free, I might explore that option, maybe. Vlahovic, again, Juventus, I might explore that option because these are the cheaper options. But yeah, Ollie Watkins, 60 mil.
It's the age.
I don't think. Yeah, listen, we need it. We need it. So Man United are in it's a seller's market when you're selling to Man United at the moment, isn't it, Steve? You know what I mean? Listen, I would take him for a couple of years, no matter what I've said about him before. I don't think he was right for Arsenal, but they were in a very different position to us, different position to us.
Look, was it a case that Aston Villa offered Ollie Watkins?
No.
So it was a case that Arsenal went in for Ollie Watkins.
They had a conversation, with Arsenal,
and they said 60 mil.
Well, no. Arsenal said Arsenal valued him at 40 mil and just told them to go and basically do one.
Okay. So it's going to cost you minimum. You're 6 months on, so let's say it costs you 60 mil. Yeah, you look at what you spent on strikers. You look at what you spent on some of those players. 60 mil might be worth the hit because it's going to get you Europa League.
No, it is worth the hit. It's just I don't want it, you know what I mean? But it's worth the hit. It is with Watkins.
And it is. I think you're right. It's not what Arsenal needed because Arsenal is slightly different. Are in a different place. It's what Man United needs someone who can score goals and is Premier League proven. You're going to get misses. You're going to get frustrated. But in the end, you're probably going to love Ollie Watkins because
listen, Keir, it'll make a couple of people in our group very happy. You know, Nathan, Alex, they've been loving him for a couple of years. So
he's a good player. It's not about he's a good player, but he's not.
It just meant you weren't getting it just meant you weren't getting your main striker in the summer. If you dropped 60 mil on Ollie Watkins,
it's exactly that, mate.
And in 2 seasons' time, you're going to have to do it again.
And then you've got Sesko's gone. Because is gone, you know what I mean, and who's there now, and you've got to go all through it again, and it takes 2 years to identify it. Yeah, so it was.
Arsenal were desperate. Arsenal were desperate, Garth. Do you know what I mean? They had 40 million, hanging around, which is what they could spend. They didn't want to throw away 40 million on anybody still. No. So even if they'd never bought anybody, and we're not talking about, but so they gave Watkins, let's have a take phone call to see what they say because they knew they was like. They just bought Malin. They just obviously were on the verge of getting Rashford. So, it
was a good punt. It was a good punt. And if they said yes, I still want, like I say that, but it would have been one of the ones where, like, if it had affected your summer spending or your summer transfer plans, it weren't the right move. But as for United, I think, one of you said it was entirely right. We've got to exploit a free market. Like in the summer, you know what I mean? Like, and it's going to sound crazy, but like you're looking at, but I'm just looking at it right here. You know what I mean? I know that these players, if they're not, this is why I think I've never made it apparent. What I mean is when I say man, I can get anyone. If there's no one else in for them, if there's no one else in for them, you know what I mean. Obviously, if there's a Champions League team coming in for these players, we're on the back burner because I don't want to see us putting like silly wages up. But you have got the Kimmiches, the Jonathan Davids, the Leroy Sané's, you know what I mean, that are up there, the big boys. But you've also gone down into the Boscalis at PSV, good player, the Tyrek Mitchells at Crystal Palace, good player. And this is what I'm talking about professionals.
Yeah, you had an interest in Boscali, funny enough. You did have an interest.
He's a good player. He's decent. Like Christian Norgard at Brentford. Good, solid player. Get him on a 2-year deal. You know,
and it's not just that. He's a very good leader. He's a very honest player, very good leader. Give him 2 seasons at Man United. Yeah.
Just don't sit in 5 years. That's what I mean. What we've done wrong in the past. You know what I mean? Well, Nottingham Forest, I'm pretty sure he's not on this list, but I'm pretty sure the first right back, Aina, he's on a free.
Yeah,
so I mean, like, just take it like if it's a freebie, his wages aren't going to be silly. What are we talking about for him, really? 50, 60, 70 grand a week, maximum 70 grand a week for him, surely.
I don't know if you've seen
he's playing for Nottingham Forest. Like I think
I know they're making the Champions League, but if he goes on a free and there's no one else after him, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Obviously, the state that we're in at the moment, if there are better teams in better positions after these players, we're in second place in the.
Well, there's Premier League. There's Premier League tax as well. Do you know what I mean? Some big players that are available in for the summer, will look for the Premier League. And if Arsenal have got their man, Man City don't need a striker, and Liverpool won't need a striker. Then they'll look. Then Man United. Do you know what I mean? Again, I do, there will be them. Some of them will go, I want to progress my career for like a Yorikis. But then there'll be a player such as Osimhen, for instance, who will go, yeah, but that's Man United.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's different ways of thinking for different players.
Exactly. He's on 40 grand a week.
Yeah, so there you go, 50 grand a week for him. And the one that people don't, and this one's like, but it'd have to be a 2-year deal, like 1 with 1 maybe if it'd take it. Is Callum Wilson just have a body up top? He's actually old. I know, but this is where I need professionals in the team, and he's a professional. He will score more than
more the injuries, mate. I was more thinking about his injuries.
Yeah, but that's why I don't. To be fair, that's why I don't want Calvin Lewis. Everyone's talking about Calvin Lewis.
No. João Pedro would be a shout. Do you know what I mean? I'm surprised he's still.
What's he going to cost?
Yeah,
I like João Pedro, but Brighton ain't no mugs, are they? They get top dollar for their players.
Yeah. Tony Bloom's he's a gambler, isn't he?
Yeah. So João Pedro right now, you're talking 70 mil again, ain't you? Like 60 mil. Yeah.
See them talking up Welbeck. A lot of people talking about.
I said at the start of the season, didn't I? Like, I'm taking this at Callum Wilson. I'm looking at Callum Wilson like a Danny Welbeck, like an old head professional who can. Because I like Danny Welbeck. People who don't rate Danny Welbeck, you didn't watch him. He's a good quality striker, Danny Welbeck. And listen, Danny Welbeck has had all comers at Brighton as well. Evan Ferguson's at West Ham because of Danny Welbeck right now. You know, I mean, like, literally, Evan Ferguson we're getting game time because Danny Welbeck's doing a job. So yeah, we've got. Sorry, I've got on a long-winded one there, lads. We've got to lower expectations. It's not that we can't get players, but we don't want those players at the moment. We've done this for the last 10 years. Go and get the Ibrahimovic. Go and get the Cavani. Go and get the Sanchez's. Go and get this. Go and get... It ain't worked. We need a long-term strategy of signings. And it needs to be players for the right now. They're going to get us over the next couple of years. And then youth players that take us over the next 5-6 years.
And quickly before we move on, Chida Obe, I know you mentioned earlier he only got 3 minutes. Did you see him? Do you see him getting more minutes? Do you see him as an actual option now?
No, I don't. We've both watched him in the under 18s and under 23s, haven't we? Under 21, sorry. And he's got a lot of work to do. He's clearly got talent. He's clearly got potential, and he's clearly going to be, I reckon as long as it goes well for him, he's going to be a good Premier League striker. Mm-hmm. But at this exact moment in time, he still ain't there. And we're not giving the ball to our strikers. Listen, Højlund can finish, and we're not utilising him properly. I don't want to see this poor kid come in 3 games, get no goals, get no passes, 2 touches.
It's not the right time for him, is it?
It ain't.
It's not fair. Right, we've seen it before. We saw a goal all the way back to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. His debut against Man United in an absolute spanking. It's just not the way forward.
Garth, do you think just quickly, Ankies? I mean, do you think when he said when Emery came out in the press conference and said that this is the worst Man United team since so and so? Do you think that's played a part in? Do you think that's doing anything to the players' minds? Would it do to you? How would it affect you if like? Because
no.
I don't think it would affect me. I'll be looking around and being like, he's right. He's talking about me.
It depends if you're a Jadon Sancho or a Jesse Lingard who actually thinks your shit don't stink, or if you're a realist and you look around that dressing room, you're like, none of us are performing. Like he's not picking out individual players. He's saying that this team is the worst. But I would hope not, Steve. I'd hope not. I'd hope that Man United players have been better scouted. I don't know why I'm saying that. That's a silly statement. Look at what we spent on. I'd hope that our players have got stronger mentalities than that.
Yeah. Yeah, so do I. And apparently he was in the changing room beforehand, absolutely ripping him a new one. Tears were rolling down people's faces. He was telling them what's what, and then went out there and said that. So they knew that something was coming. They knew what was being said in the changing room was probably going to be relayed out to the press.
And if it has, Steve, they're the sort of players I don't want at Man United, no matter how good they are.
100%. I agree. They've got to be strong, made of sterner stuff than that. And they should be more pissed off, like, I'm going to show you that you're wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. And have that manager not, I feel sorry for myself because we have been shit for the last 2 years, but, like, we've not been that shit. No, you have. Stop.
Every one of those Man United players are some of the best paid players in all of the world of football. They need to take a look at themselves in the mirror. You know, that's where Man United are now. Every single one, from 1 to 11 to 1 to 25, need to stand up. Whatever cliche you want, look at the man in the mirror. You know, give themselves a slap, pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Whatever it is, they've got to realise that their performances to a man, no matter what I say about Bruno, no matter what I say about this player, to a man, aren't good enough, and they need to raise their game. So I'd hope that it hasn't done anything than what Keir said, which is giving him a bit of a rocket up the arse.
Would you still like to see Rashford back, Garth? I know you're a big fan.
You know I would. You know I would, of course. Yeah. But
he's been playing well. He's been playing well. He's been doing.
I've watched it, but what I don't want is the managers have to step down because then his authority's gone. Amorim has said that he doesn't fit his philosophy and that Rashford isn't doing it. So. Yeah, I think that ship has sailed, but obviously I'll always back. Wrong way to say it. I'll always love Marcus Rashford as a Man United player. He's one of our own. I'd love to see the story end on a positive note. I don't think it is. You know what I mean? Although he's still talking about. I saw that today or yesterday. He's still talking about Barcelona. Like, bruv, you need to do a little bit more than one free kick. You know,
one free kick you get the crossbar, mate. Is that one? See that?
There's no option, is there, Steve? Yeah, there's no option. There's no option, is there?
No.
So it is likely that
there's no options on. I don't think on any. Sancho's obviously that's obviously done. Anthony's there's no option.
Is that obligation or option? Is it a certain amount of games I have to play?
If I was Chelsea, I'd purposely get myself. If they finish anywhere above 14th, they've got to buy him for 25 mil. Is what I would say. Lose every game to get to 15th because we don't want this kid. Like, he's just sorry again. That's all Man United, but just quickly, Jadon Sancho, man, what a disappointment. He's proven time and time again that wherever he goes, his mentality, his attitude is a problem.
I said this to you the other day. That Jadon Sancho's style of football is indicative of the kind of footballers that I got very frustrated with when I used to play, which was your shit don't stink and you're too cool for school. You don't want to look like you're trying because that makes it look like you're a try hard. You just want to be like he's a baller. He's a baller. Yeah, my man's a baller. Get out of it. I'm bored of it. I want to see effort. I want to see people with good technique. I want to see proper. I don't want to see you lethargically move around the pitch and Basuma, Sancho, not so much Xerxes because I don't think it's that mentality, but the style. Xerxes, I can't deal with those sorts of players that they just looks like they could do a little bit more, but they don't have to because it will make it look like
Sancho knuckled down. It's going to be one of the biggest for England as well, honestly. That kid, when I saw him at Borussia Dortmund, when we first got him, I was like, this kid can go anywhere he wants, but his attitude clearly stinks.
If you go to Germany, you can't come out of Germany a bit more robust, a bit more mentally strong, have a bit more of a team ethic, then you ain't. What are you going to do? You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, even at Dortmund, bruv, innit? Even at Dortmund, when he was ripping up with 40 goal contributions, 60 goal contributions a season or whatever it was, he was still getting dropped for turning up late. You know what I mean?
If you're going to have an attitude, you got to be like.
You got to back it.
You have
to back it every game.
Do you know what I mean? You got to if you're going to be lazy, if you're going to go around like this on the pitch and look a bit lethargic, then when you do get the ball, you've got to be able. I mean, people used to take Mesut Ozil, didn't they? Say, he looks lazy. Yeah, but he used to produce. Do you know what I mean? He used to produce all the time. Do you know what I mean? If you can look lazy, you can be lazy all day if you like, as far as I'm concerned. Because he was doing it. Sancho's not doing it.
I look back at Mesut Ozil and I think to myself, wow.
He was unreal, wasn't he?
I think we forget. That's an enjoyable time. That's YouTube. You'll have a fun time with that one. You'll have a fun time watching them highlight reels.
All right, let's get on to our.
Can we move on from this depression? You know,
5 minutes of Man United. Oh my god!
5 minutes
tonight. Toaster, bro.
Steve, Arsenal got a 2-0 victory on the weekend against Leicester City, but it was not easy. In the end, Merino saved the day. We'll get on to some other performances, but overall, a win's a win. We got what we needed. 3 points, and that's what's important because for no matter what anyone wants to say, for a small amount of time, it put a little bit of pressure on the league leaders at the moment, Liverpool, and especially their fans. Like I said, I'm in a Liverpool group at the moment. It's torture, but I get to see an insight of what those people are like.
Glutton for punishment.
And there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of talk. Yeah, but behind the scenes, they're definitely taking notice. And you'd be silly not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the people may not know, but I do a little bit of work for a Liverpool website, so yeah. So I hear and read quite a little bit of Liverpool stuff that's going around at the moment, and yeah. Well, we'll say no more. We'll say no more about that.
You want to carry on writing for that Liverpool website?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, look, mate. It's like you mentioned at the beginning of the show. We came back from Dubai. Look, it was well, documented, about our attack, how decimated it is, and we started with Nemware, we started with Trossard, we started with Sterling. I wasn't willing to sort of give us a buy if we performed badly or we didn't look good, because, take those, you just take Sterling and Nemware out of that. The rest of those 9 are first teamers. Do you know what I mean? They're still first team players who play every week in, week out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So and you would put them as the number 1 starter. So that's still 9.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't like someone who was going to be like forgiving and think, oh, our strikers thing. But it wasn't. Look, plenty of possession. But again, just a lot of the time it was toothless up front. Players getting caught offside, sloppy mistakes. When it got to the final third of the area, apart from one person who we'll probably get to in a sec. I thought that, and maybe we'll talk about the other strikers up front as well. So I'll leave them out in a minute. But yeah, it got to a point, and what a master stroke from Mikel Arteta to bring on Merino, because that was a substitution and a half to bring him on, stick him up front, and brilliant cross from the man himself, then where he straight onto his head, put it in. And then great work from Trossard for the second, and Mourinho in the right place at the right time. And when you look at the league table and you look at the games to come, especially the next 3 games for each of the 2 clubs, it's getting a little bit. It's getting a little bit. It's getting a little bit.
Liverpool fans. I need to get a sound over that. It's getting
well, it can go one way.
Again in public, bruv. I'm just going to play that
song, a remix, 1990s remix.
But it is. You tell you what, I've analysed it, and yes, it can go one way, or yes, it can go the other.
Villa away, City away next week, mate. Yeah.
Well, Liverpool have got Villa away on Wednesday.
Then City away, innit?
Then City away and Newcastle at home.
Yeah, tough. What you boys got?
Arsenal got West Ham at home. And Arsenal not got easy. Don't get me wrong; they're not easy.
If we got Everton, that's the real question. No, we played.
We've got West Ham. We've got you boys away.
Definitely be a win.
And we've got and probably the hardest one will be Forest. But Arsenal got to be. If you look at Arsenal, not being perfect. If you like. For the or next to perfect through the rest of the season, and
you have to be. They have to be.
Yeah,
but I said that's exactly what I said, Keir. Yeah, it's not what Liverpool do; it's what Arsenal do now. If you're going to win this league, it's just you've got to worry about yourselves and just win every game possible. Don't drop too many points.
Yeah, I mean the way I'm looking at it is if after these 3 games are gone, right, of Liverpool's 3 games, if Arsenal can be 4 points behind. After these 3 games, then with Saka and Martinelli coming back, and Liverpool not looking too great at what they've done through the rest of the season. There's a few little maybe a little few weaknesses starting to appear, little nerves coming in. Look, who knows? Who knows? With 7 points, if we can be 4, and look, Liverpool.
Game?
If Liverpool go on and beat Villa away, City away, Newcastle at home, then that, all you can do is hold your hands up.
Yeah.
I cannot see them getting 9 points out of that lot. So if Arsenal can go on a run with these 3 games, it really opens up big time.
Yeah,
it really does.
I think Liverpool. Look, they've got some big games coming up, and just as much as it will give Arsenal confidence and that sort of kick up the backside again, that's what I mean. That they need to sort of push on for the league. If Liverpool to drop points, if Liverpool get points in those games, they get points against Villa, they get points against Man City. That's going to buoy them up to go and win this league, like to go and push through. Because I'm sure they'll be looking at these games now and thinking this is a tough run. We've got to get through this. We've just had some tough games, just about got through Wolves in the end, although it was a performance that was essentially not winning at a canter, but that game was in the bag for them, and they let Wolves get back into it, and it was squeaky bum time in the end. Drop points against Everton, drop points against not drop points. They've got knocked out a couple against Plymouth. It's not fluid at the moment, so they're probably questioning themselves. So if they can get a decent win against Villa, remember the Villa team they beat last time, I predicted it was going to be an easy win. I predicted that Villa would get beaten by Wolves because after when they play in the Champions League, Villa are a championship team. They're awful. They cannot handle the rigours of the Champions League and the Premier League. They've yet to win a game. They've dropped points to Southampton, Ipswich. So the game that they played last time, off the back of that, I'm not reading into it much. This Villa team against Liverpool at home, it's going to be a tough game for Liverpool. It's going to be. If they win that, that's a massive win. That is a massive win for them. Anyone goes to Aston Villa when they've not played Champions League.
See, I think Arsenal just got to do their business. They just don't worry about what Liverpool are doing.
100%.
Liverpool, Liverpool are playing on Wednesday. Yeah, they could go 10 points in front. Right? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, it's not. Don't worry about
it. Don't worry about it.
Don't throw it in. Fans.
They've only got to lose one of the other ones against Man City away and Newcastle away. Just Arsenal carry on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? Because they can go 10 points in front, but in my head, in my psyche, I'm hoping that Arsenal are going to go and win the next 3 games. That's all you can hope as an Arsenal fan. You have to. You can't think of anything less. Now, if they do that and they lose one of them, or draw a couple of them, or even if they just lose one, if they lose away to City, who look like they're coming back into a bit of form again, right? While Liverpool are dropping off, they've only got to lose one of them, and that will take it down to 4 points if Arsenal do their job. So it's all about Arsenal doing their job.
Yeah.
It's all about Arsenal, and I don't care if they go 10 points clear on Wednesday night against Villa. That doesn't bother.
10 points is just in hand.
It's only if they stay 10 points clear. Stephen, I agree with you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're 10 points clear.
If we lose against West Ham, then
I think at this stage, 10 points is insurmountable. I said that to yourself, didn't I?
It's still a game.
Yeah,
that's it. Sorry, mate.
And what I will say is Mikel Arteta. I've done 2 videos on it now. Mikel Arteta, Miles Lewis-Skelly, the club. Whatever subliminal message they want to send, they're telling you straight to your face now. They need support, and that's online. That's in the stadiums. They need the support. And in the stadium, they've been absolutely brilliant. Online, it's getting better, but still, there's still these people that want to question things. Still, people that want to talk about the transfer window. The transfer window's over. Get over it. Move on. There's no point in talking about the transfer window or being angry about I'm just so angry about the transfer window. Well, get your emotions in check, boy.
Leave that to the pundits. Leave that to the rival fans. To talk about what you didn't do in the transfer market.
Exactly.
Just get behind your boys.
It's not the time to be getting angry. It's the time to support. Show you support online, in the stadium, everything. Ramp it up because it does make a difference. He specifically said himself, it makes a difference. It gives us that in those moments when we don't have anything else, we're trying our best. When the fans give us that little bit of buzz, that takes us that little bit further. You saw it 2 seasons ago. Do it again. I swear to God. Give them all the support you can. It's not about questioning things like that.
Yeah, and especially the manager, because you question the manager, that it filters down to everything else, doesn't it? You know, everybody else brings up, as soon as you say, oh, the manager, this to the manager. Look, some people may agree, some people may. I think he's done an absolute phenomenal job this season. Absolute phenomenal. And people will say, oh, no, but you're second. You're not going to win a trophy again. Liverpool this, Liverpool that. Look, watch football a long while. For him to go of the circumstances been thrown at him throughout this season, right? You know, Garth called it the week ago. He said, Steve, injuries, talk about them. Well, I'm going to, right? You know, we had Merino out from the beginning. We had Odegaard out for months. We've had Saka out for months. Havertz is now out. Martinelli, we've had White out for months. Jesus broke down. We've had Sleeper out for 3 games. Come on. Liverpool, you've had nothing. Nothing. For him to be still in with a chat with this title, right? Unbelievable. But for some reason, online fans, and you're probably watching me out there now, you do not get it and you do not see it. But you've got to open up your eyes because he's done phenomenal to be in this position, to, considering, the things that's been thrown at him. Absolutely a phenomenal job, to be still talked about as possible title winners. I'm real. You take 5, 6 players out of the Liverpool side or the City side, where would Liverpool be if you did that now? They wouldn't be top, I'm telling you. No way.
No. Another player that we need to talk about, Ethan Nwaneri. Absolutely brilliant the other day.
Oh God, I thought we moved over to the Arsenal loving.
Because you got 45 minutes. You had 45 minutes.
7 minutes.
7 minutes show.
We had 45 minutes and Man United. We've had 7 minutes.
45. You're absolute misery.
Yeah, exactly. God, I don't want to see you happy and me sad every week. You know what I mean? Save that for your own. Sorry.
Steve, Ethan Nwaneri, absolutely brilliant performance the other day, looking from strength to strength, from game to game. Serious talent.
Oh, serious talent. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's getting a little bit. Where we all know on this show where we don't like to hype up players too early, or we get wary about it and we want them protected. It's getting hard. Do you know what I mean? Because if a player just keeps on doing this week in, week out, and look, we know we're football people, we know when we see a player, this kid is special. I ain't seen many like him for a long while. I'm sure you two will bring one up of 17 years old. You might go back to Wayne Rooney, Garth. When he started doing things that you're thinking, wow, he's when he was bending balls in at 16, 17 years old for Everton and doing things for Manchester United. This is what Nwaneri's doing, bending in balls, playing in Champions Leagues, playing against in top under pressure games, and he's man of the match performances in most times he plays in this team. And
he's got 6 man of the match
performances. 6 man of the match performances. He's bending balls in the top bins and he's making it. He's like, and it's it's becoming very difficult, Kears. And I know you're a big advocate of hold on a minute, but it's getting hard, mate. It's getting really hard.
It makes it easier when someone says things like what Joe Cole said when he said he's doing a Messi and stuff. It's like, relax, Joe. Come on, calm down, Joe Cole.
Yeah, I think he meant with the movement, didn't he? I think he meant he runs like.
But you do have to be
you can't compare. People can't compare kids to Messi.
No.
People's comprehension skills. You write articles.
Yeah, exactly.
They will have a headline. But it will say everything in front of you, yet people will come back to you with something completely different that's not in the article.
Yeah.
And that's what he needs to be careful of, is when you say Messi, all people are hearing is you're comparing him to Messi.
Yeah,
talking about the nuances.
No. I know what Cole meant. I know what.
Yeah. Because the ball come.
I know
he done
what
it
he
a
meant.
couple of games ago. The ball come down with snow on it, and the first turn he done on it was a turn on the pivot. So he took the ball down on the turn, which is what I see Zidane do. But I'm not going to turn around and go, "Oh, he reminds me of Zidane," because it's they can't do it. Can't do it.
But people do that these days, don't they?
It's ammunition for people to turn around and go, "Oh, you're saying he's as good as Messi." We ain't doing that.
It's not just that. It's what I was saying to yourself, Steve, when we were talking about it. About the problem in this country, in particular, is we build kids up, and in the moment they have a little six-game bad spell, they're dog shit. And you were telling me it was Messi. No one said that. No one said that. What he said was he did one thing. Like no. You told me he was Zidane. You told me this. He ain't nothing, mate.
What did we say about Merino?
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I said about Merino, weren't it? Like, just calm down with him. Let's give him his time. Like, but now he's having a bad spell, and people are all over. I'll sell him. So we don't need him no more. Like, it's like, and Weary, there's Skelly, clearly two fabulous prospects, fabulous, and between Arsenal fans, hype him up as much as you want. You know what I mean? 100%.
Yeah.
And do hype up his performances that you're seeing as well.
Yeah.
But stop. Don't be talking about the future. Don't be talking about Ballon d'Ors. Don't be talking about. 100%. Don't be talking about Meg. But between Arsenal fans, listen, you should be as excited as anyone because we all want to see our youth. We want to see our kids come through and be superstars, and they've both got the potential to be it. So you should be well happy.
I did a video exactly on what Garth said. I don't know whether he's read it and watched it, and he's like, give me a little bit. You know what I mean? Segue in there. I did a video exactly what Garth says. We do not need validation from other fans because the moment it goes bad, it's that. It's you said this, you said that. Typical Arsenal fans. Between us, let's hype him up. Let's in the group chats, on the Arsenal. In the Arsenal comments, let's hype him up because he's so good to watch.
Yeah.
Like, when we're talking about players that have come through the youth ranks, and we've seen the likes of Jack Wilshere. We've seen you can even go to players that are 18 that we brought in. We've seen the Van Persies. We've seen younger players that came in like Diaby. We've seen them. This kid's hit up.
Yeah. When Arsene Wenger turns around and says, "Look, I've not seen anything like him since Fabregas."
Yeah.
That's when you go.
Oh, it's not a clock.
He's just pulled the plug on him again.
Took my voice too literally. He's like, I just did
What's it got? Who pulled the plug?
Yeah, no. Listen, they're sick. They're both sick, and you've got every right to be fully excited about them. But just also Arsenal fans and England fans as well, because that's the other thing. We want them to be good for England. But when they do have Rooney had his bad spell. I think it was about 19. He went through it.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, when he first come in after all the hype, had his he went. Don't get on their backs about it. Let them grow. The youthful exuberance will go. Lewis Skelly will make a terrible mistake at some point. Give away a penalty in a must-win game. Like give away a ball that gives it. And Wary will have a stinker down the line, and it costs you a game. It will happen. They're youth players. They're 17 years old, 18 years old. Just give them their time. They're going to be fantastic. There's no two ways about it. But just allow it.
I think the good thing with Wary is that. Is that when Saka comes back, he'll probably be out the side, and he'll probably be sitting on the bench again. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, it's great for Saka because Saka has needed someone to be able to come on for 15, 20 minutes at the end of games for about 3 years now.
Yeah, so I mean,
and Age is on his side for that as well. What I don't like is Rio Ferdinand implying that Arteta should have played Wanyeri in place of Erdegaard earlier in the season. No, because the games against Bolton, the games against
but that's very easy to say. That's all easy to say now.
20 minutes here, the 10 minutes here. This is all culminated into where he is now. Playing him in a game to replace the captain, who is also the main playmaker, is not the way. It's not where you're going to get the best out of him because we needed someone to come in.
He fought Trossard, didn't he?
And the people that didn't, Trossard, whoever, were getting slated. So what, you want that to be Ethan Wanyeri? Nah, and that's the difference. You can't.
And it might even be where he comes like at the start of the next season. He's not even second choice. And again, that's not a problem because he can cover a lot of positions. Same as Lewis Skelly. These players don't have to be the second choice too, like a Saka or an Odegaard in the centre midfield for Skelly or at left back for Skelly. They can cover a lot of positions and they can just be slowly brought up to speed. Listen, you don't want them broken. I've seen it too many times with young kids as well. Look at Saka right now. Saka's injuries are fully down to the amount of games being played in the modern game and the amount of games he's already played at 24. It's mental.
I did a video on it, and someone said, "Well, it's worked out all right for Saka, Rooney, Messi, and
Rooney was different."
I was like,
"Rooney was different."
What? Rooney was built like a 32-year-old man at 16. Yeah, he was boshing around grown men at 16. Saka's just come back. He's just coming back from a torn hamstring because he's been overplayed. Like Messi wasn't having steroid injections because of his.
I was about to say,
it's
so different. Yeah,
I think they didn't play its part in being able to play as and even then, at 17, he played 9 games for Barcelona. 9 games. He wasn't the main man, and the following season he was played, but it wasn't like Messi's got to be the guy. It was Messi is the guy. Messi looks sick, but he wasn't the only option, and that's what people aren't taking into account. You can't be putting in one basket.
We're just lucky to have him. Just be lucky. You know, if Saka wasn't injured, we wouldn't be talking like this now. So,
but it's coming through at some point. That's the thing. He's got the talent, so it would still be coming through at some point. You know, I mean,
we do.
Yeah. But listen, as I say to everyone, when it comes to do not compare your youth players to Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney was a freak.
Or Messi. Or Cristiano Ronaldo.
They weren't playing at 16 either. They weren't playing at 6. That's what you just do. You know what I mean? He was playing full time at 16, 17, you know what I mean? Because he was a genetic freak. And let's face it, at 30, he had lost his pace. He had lost his hair.
I said what Messi. I said Rooney, who was playing in MLS by the age of 32, and went back to Everton at the age of 31, and then retired very early.
Playing centre midfield.
I mean, look, he could be anything, man. Wary. Do you know what I mean? He could be, but just as I said, you've already said it. Just keep, keep bum. I mean, players, special players do appear. Do you know what I mean? He might be one of them, but you'd have more chance of him being one of them if you if we don't keep going on, have a bit of patience. Yeah. You know, he could be the next. You know, in 5 years' time, we could be talking about him as a 150 million.
Real Madrid.
We don't know. Real Madrid. Who knows? Yeah. Fucking Real Madrid.
Do you know what? I weirdly had visions of too many Arsenal players in Real Madrid kits just then.
Can I just say? I mean, I don't want to bring it up, but I'm going to because it on the flip side, Raheem Sterling, mate. I'm sorry. He was absolutely awful on the other night.
I feel for him. Look, he's got to have his run of games. He's got to have another game.
Is he?
You can't just have him play one game, not have him in a game for free. One game, not have him in a game
anything out of him.
Because you're gonna get he needs to have a run. He needs to feel like that we can put that game behind us because I've got the next game. And once he has that, then I think we can really see what he has to offer. I don't think we could just do that, but he's not been good.
I still think Sterling, I said to Kid in, I still think Sterling's going to have a big say in what you do towards the end of the season. I really do. And I think, I know it was bad for you. I know, but I mean, I still think you'll see him do something. I really do. He's a quality former.
His confidence is shot, Garth.
But that's why you need to give him one games. Because you've got to make a decision with him. If I was, I'm not. Obviously, it's fine. If I was managing Raheem Sterling right now, you either got to shoot or pull out. It's literally play him and 3, 4, 5 games to see what he can give you, or don't play him at all. Literally, don't play him at all.
You've got to play him.
Because you can't. What Keir says is the truth with Raheem Sterling. You cannot give him.
We ain't got no one else. We ain't got no one else.
We've got to play him.
We've got to play him.
Yeah. Not for me, the answer isn't put an outfielder like a defender or a Merino up front. It's not. It's not because that's going to ruin him even more.
Morgan said, didn't it?
First 10 games.
front. Put Saliba up front. He used to play striker. We all used to play striker.
Yeah,
all of us. We all started
that. This is serious. Yeah. Well, that was the first thing that Saliba said to Arteta, didn't he? He said, I'll play up front, boss. Yeah, of course you did. All defenders and all goalkeepers want to play up front.
Everyone Barty's had that in his head for years, didn't he? And then did you ever watch that game where he put him on left wing in the friendly?
Yeah. But Ferguson used to do that, though, didn't he? He did it with who was the other goalkeeper you had that you played up front? Was it Kevin Pilkington?
Kevin Pilkington, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You brought him up front for a game in a friendly.
That was an amazing tackle from Miles Lewis Skelly. That was like a goal-saving tackle.
You have to mention tackle. That because if that's a goal.
It was unbelievable.
We watched that back because I've given a lot of credit here, but when I saw that live, I was like, he got well lucky there. He got well lucky. The one that's coming across the box and he puts out for a corner.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. I'll have another look. At that. When I saw it was live, man. I saw it once live.
Go on to that, and that's a big part of the game. 100% mentions it.
Yeah, it's massive. It's massive.
That gets put into the back post, and that's 1-0 down.
100%. But I thought he was well lucky there. I thought he got his foot caught up, and it just happened to go out instead of going in for an OG. Personally, I'll have another look. I will, but I saw that live. So I've not seen a replay of it at all yet.
Just before we go, let's have a little bit of transfer updates. I know there's the news we speak about it every week, Steve, but Martin Zubimendi, the news is popping up again today. Just more clarity that Arsenal look like they're going to get this deal done. Again, I'm sure Arsenal fans are not worried about not hearing a bit more of an update or just confirmation that deal is as solid as it sounds.
Yeah, I mean it's solid as it can get. It was very, very advanced. Again, I have to keep saying it was very, very advanced in the summer. We knew that then. And we had Ornstein come out. We've had Fabrizio come out, and you've also had me come out. He's actually his representatives are flying over this week. I don't know when this week. To chat about non-related football matters, which I'm not, averse to what that exactly is, but I'm assuming it's just whatever non-related football matters is when you do
the transfer. It's like houses, isn't it? Where's he going to live?
Yeah.
Will you pay for his masseuse to come? Will you pay for his nutritionist to come? His chef to come? Things like that is what I understand.
I think what it is, mate. Yeah. So that's what that is. So he just wants assurances of things. The word I was given was assurances. Again, Arsenal fans, please read the full article, because as soon as assurances come up, it was like I had people saying to me, "What do you want assurances for? Jorginho and Party leaving in the summer. Yeah. What do you need fucking assurances for? Just read the fucking article, for fuck's sake, so you can read what you're on. Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? It really winds me up. Do you know what I mean? You spend ages doing it.
The biggest problem he's going to have is the bugs all over his food, mate. He's going to have a real, you know what I mean? It's going to be like, you know, all the broken toes he's going to have. He's going to be out a lot, man. Because after they put that curse on him, I wouldn't want to sign him, to be quite honest with you. I have to stay away from him. That man, definitely, you know what I mean?
Again, if Arsenal fans need any more, assuring, then. Is
there any chance that the Real Madrid stuff's true, Steve? I've seen that's what's worrying Arsenal fans, that the Real Madrid is starting to sniff around him out of nowhere, which I feel like, why would you go there when the squad they've got? But
exactly that, mate. I mean, you can go there.
What? Yeah. He's one of the best midfielders in the world at the moment, isn't he? Tchouaméni?
Yeah. I mean, Real Madrid just like...
Bellingham?
I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
No.
What I read that was that there's not enough column inches being written at the moment, so there's
exactly. That is clearly what that is.
Yeah. Clearly. No, I mean, I'm not. Real Madrid's not being mentioned. I don't know where. I don't know where it's being. Where you're seeing it and all that. I'm sure it's somewhere.
Places. Yeah. It's probably just Twitter, Steve. To be fair, man, but that's what I've seen.
Yeah.
You've heard an influx of people having a word about it. Is maybe if you know what I mean. All of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm sure they would love him as part of their squad. Do you know what I mean? But Zubimendi's not gonna. You know, he's going to walk straight in at Arsenal to play in that 6th role. You know, more than likely. You know, with Rice and Odegaard. So that's the sort of area that Arsenal are targeting. We're actually targeting 2 players in that area. So, which may tell you a little bit about what's going to happen with Pai and Jorginho.
We've got Brazilian international 4-time Champions League winner, if you want him, mate. Brazilian.
But yeah. I look, as I said again, I say it all the time, and nothing that surprised me in football transfers. Anything can happen. Things can turn at the last minute. But from what the understanding is that this will go through in the summer pretty easily.
And links from surprise links to Manchester United.
Yes,
with Manchester United.
Cancelo. Yes,
really?
Yes. Yeah. This was one that came to my attention this morning, and it was something that was mentioned to someone who I'm very close with during the post-match press conference with other journalists on Sunday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it was something that was being talked about around there that Manchester United had the hierarchy, not so much Amorim, but have made him aware that there's a chance that Cancelo could come to Manchester United, and they basically left it into the hands of the manager. Now, as soon as I was told that, I just started putting together the links. And I thought, is it? Firstly, where the source came from. Secondly, first thing it was Portuguese, and I thought, nah, Man City. But I thought, hold on a minute. Pep and him never really left on good terms.
Very massive for that, didn't they?
He can play right wing back, left wing back. Yeah. He's Portuguese. Everything started, and all of a sudden, the pen or the computer keyboard started to tap, because things started slipping into place. So yes, I've got to trust the sources, and there's a possibility that there is a chance.
What would you reckon, Steve?
But he's 30 years old, so maybe.
Yeah.
I would say about 30 million. I would thought. Oh. I think he went. I think they sold
25. He went.
Roundabout, mate. Yeah. I think round about 21, 25, I was going to say, but I'll take your word that it was 25.
Oh, yeah, right, better than me, mate. Yeah, so 20, but over 20 it was, definitely over 20 for him.
Yeah. So, and again, I'm not a Man United fan, but I was sort of nodding. I was like, I mean, I could see him. I mean, great player. But
great player.
You're not great player.
We need too much. 30 mil. I was hoping more half that, if I'm being honest with you. If we were talking,
you 15, bargains.
Yeah, if we were talking 15, 18 mil. I mean, he's 30 years old. No offense to Saudi Arabia. He's in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, is he in Saudi Arabia at the moment?
Yeah.
Well, then maybe he might be able to strike a better deal than that. Than 30
mil. 30 mil's too much for him at 30. 31 will be in the season as well. Yeah.
I was asked by my editor, and I said, well, I haven't got a price. And we sort of was like, well, they said to me, he said to me that, what are you thinking? I'm thinking, well, he went for 21, 25 million. I thought it was 21 at the time, so I would have thought between 25, 30 million maybe, if you want to get a little bit of profit on. But then if you can do a deal, and because I'm hearing that
it'll be 31 when we sign him, so he's 31 before the end of the season. So it's just the age. He's quality. He's so good. Cancelo's one of the best fullbacks of the last decade. There's no two ways about it.
One season, 2 seasons, mate. No, but then again, you don't want to pay that much, do you?
It just comes down to that fee. Because the wages will.
Saudi Arabia.
The wages will be. Well, unless we can do that, the wages will be impressive as well. You would have thought. It's like he's Cancelo. Just listen. Nah. Like if the fee was less, I'd be all over it. I'd be all over it.
I think it's one of them ones where you put all the dots together and you come up with Do you know what I mean? I can see that.
I'm not saying it's 30 mil definitely, Steve. If it is, if we're just hypothetically,
no, not so much the money. I think probably the money is the only sort of like sticking point where you go, like you've already done.
Everything else,
when you're sort of when the
can play left wing back, can play right wing back.
Yeah, he's the most attacking fullback I've seen since probably
assists are excellent. He's a goal scoring threat as well. Funny enough, he does arrive in so. It'd be a great signing if he was 2 years younger and it was 10 mil cheaper. You know what I mean? That'd be fantastic. We're just
my only thing was like, would he go after being at Man City to Man United?
Yeah. He'd be like, can I do the Tevez thing? Can I do that?
But I don't. But as we spoke, I mean, again, like I spoke to a few people today about it, he's like, Cancelo's got that temperament where he just don't give a damn. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He won't give a damn about that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He don't like Pep. He don't like the hierarchy at City.
Don't care. So you've got the Portuguese connection as well.
Would Omar Barada be a hindrance then, or do you reckon, like, as he's now our chief executive, if Cancelo fell out with like the board at Man City?
It's a good, it's a shout.
Did he fall out with the board, or did he fall out with Pep?
I don't know.
From what I like, he fell out with everyone.
Yeah, it was like
he then dragged everything out as he was leaving. His arm down the aisle and just pulled all the wine down.
Kicked over that ballroom door. It's like, I hate you. Especially you.
Everything out.
I think even like when he went on loan to Bayern, was it Bayern or Barca?
Barca. He went on loan to.
He went to loan to Barca, and I think like the next day he was like,
was he both?
You both, mate. Yeah, I think he was like. I think he did like a Twitter post or an Instagram post saying, like, I'm so happy to be here. And I think that rolled City fan right up, like, as if, like, we've given you this, that, and you've won all these trophies, and now you're, like, mugging us off, like. So, I don't think there's no love lost.
It was like Cancelo, best fullback in the league, with every single half-season team of the year, full season team of the year. But Cancelo's so good, it's so good, it's so good. Yeah, he's getting sold. Like, what?
Rico Lewis out of nowhere is playing. You're like, why is Rico Lewis playing? Like, what's happened here? It was clearly a blow up. It was clearly a blow up.
Like, something had happened. I was like, this is weird.
And I was trying to fit him in everywhere, in every single player of the teams. When I was playing him left back. Do you remember when we had that thing? And you was going, no, he's right back, and he's left back, and you was.
Well, he did, yeah. Well, he played both. He played both. So that's one you can get away with, Steve. That's one.
But someone who used to got up the stats and was like, no, he played 18 times.
Yeah, that'd be definitely go.
Go, just definitely be me.
There's one of you, and you're looking in the top right now.
I don't mean you didn't say one of you there, Steve. You can say what you feel. You know, I mean, one thing, mate. That was definitely anyway.
Look, anything to get Terence Trent Alexander in. It was anything to get him in. It was anything. Go get him in.
While you're at it.
That's how angry Steve was with Sterling, weren't it? In the group, he was like, "It's one of the worst forces from an Arsenal player I've ever seen." I was like, who?
Mate. That was wrong, weren't it? Because everybody was.
The full name is that bad.
Raheem Linford Sterling.
But he was like, first he was getting the underwears because he was offside. Then he was falling over again, like he was against Spurs. He kept falling over. Then he kicked the ball out, and I was like, "What? Oh, mate." I'd love him against West Ham to go and actually have a blind.
When you get the full Jamaican name, that means you're bang in trouble.
He's in trouble. Yeah, he's in trouble.
So it's like we get Sterling screams for Sterling for the rest of the season because we're going to need it. All right, that is all we have time for. Thank you, everybody that's joining us. Thank you for joining us, Russ. As always, thank you, Daniel. It's good to see you again. Thanks for joining us tonight, Garth and Steve.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers for having me. I'll tell you this, though, if it gets much worse, then we ain't talking about Man United on here anymore.
Did you know Ethan Nemweri had a brother called Emerson Nemweri, who was also at Arsenal?
So we'll take him as well, Steve. We'll take him off
Yeah. Don't.
Kevin, just let Martin. We'll take them Mary as well.
Say my chest right now. Do not.
Erling Haaland's brother's ripping up as well in here, apparently.
Who?
Erling Haaland's younger brother is apparently ripping up as well. He signed
is it Leeds or is it Man City?
No, I don't. Haaland's brother. I think he might be in Denmark, funnily enough.
He's in Denmark.
Store. Where does he play? Because of course it's not going to tell me, is it? No, I don't think he's in England, but apparently he's scoring like goals out there. So
yeah, Wanyeri's brother, he's only 15 or he's under 15. So
so we'll take him. We'll take him.
17, so 17.
Stay tuned, Arsenal fans, because there could be a feature coming out on the young man very soon.
Emerson Wanyeri.
Emerson Wanyeri.
Watch this space, but we've also got Max.
He's the new He's the new Ethan.
Emerson Wanyeri.
Ballon d'Or, is he, Emerson? Ballon d'Or
winner. That is the jinx that Arsenal fans always do. If you say the words future Ballon d'Or winner before they've won a Premier League title, you are condemning them for bag averageness. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Look what happened to Paul. Look what happened to Paul Jack.
Tell me that Balogun was a future Ballon d'Or winner. Well, Arsenal did the right thing there and getting that 40 million for him because he ain't done anything since.
No.
It's probably going to be transfer value. That's his peak transfer value until for the next 5 years. So, yeah. All right. That is all we have time for. Thank you for everyone who's joined us tonight. Thank you everyone on Twitter. If you are watching on Twitter, still press that like and that retweet. If you are watching on YouTube, press that like and subscribe. If you are new to the show, if you are regular, press that like and that share button. It all counts. So get in the comment section as well. Come and check me out on the Transfer Exchange Show on TikTok and also Kieran AFC on TikTok as well. A couple of videos coming out as soon as I come off the show.
Premiers, few premiers.
Well, you know what it was? We saw a video on Luis Suarez was an average player, and it just wound me up. And then the other one was John Obi Mikel fuming at what Chelsea are doing, and the fan base as well, and Maresca basically saying that we're not in the title race, and since then Chelsea have fallen off a cliff. And he was just basically saying, we are Chelsea. What are we talking about? Top 4 race. Like, don't take 2 years to get top 4. We should be in the top 4, pushing for the league. Not saying we're going to win it, but push for it. Don't tell the players that we're not in a title race, because as soon as that happened, they relaxed. And look where they are now. Drifting, falling off a cliff. They might not even get top 4. Like, honestly. And 1.7 billion to turn around and say you're in a top 4 race, which you're not even going to get into, is embarrassing. And I'm going to cook every single Chelsea fan for the rest of the season.
I've got a funny feeling like I think City will make it. I think obviously they will. And the other one's a bit techie, isn't it? Forest good.
Chelsea is struggling with
Newcastle. They're falling off a cliff.
How do you get back up? Yeah, Newcastle, they got their eye on the cup final, haven't they? That's why I don't think they're going to do anything against Liverpool, because the cup final game is after their league game, I think it is. So yeah, I don't see them doing much in that. We will see. All right, that's all we have time for. Thank you for joining us tonight. Mumble in there. Peace out. Peace out. Stay safe. Find it here. And wash your hands.
He's done it to us again.
It's a picture. No, it's not. It's a video.